we got to go on a street ride, which we saw some video of, and that was up there on the top of these mountains, which hopefully I'm pointing somewhere close to them. So those are the mountains of Tuscany behind us. Above that is Emilia-Romagna, and we were riding around on the top of those, and the roads are, the best kind of riding in the whole world. Now we're going to be going out on the circuit, and they should be perfect.
So Sam, after riding yesterday around the roads of Tuscany, around Mugello, and then riding on the Mugello racetrack.
Sounds pretty good when you put it like that.
Good. It was a good day. What are your impressions of the new Pirelli Diablo Rosso Corsa Quattro?
No, I think
I got that wrong.
Yeah,
Diablo Rosso Quattro Corsa.
I think that was the right order. Well, I think, as you just illustrated, the name of the tire might be a little long. And it's a Roman numeral quattro, so I don't know how you pronounce that in Latin.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
So that would be a difficult, we'd have to look that up. The tire...
Like cinque meno uno.
Cinque meno uno.
Yeah. There we go.
Right, exactly.
It needs to be longer.
Right. So yesterday I was fortunate enough to ride Tuono, which was spectacular on the street, and then I got to ride Yamaha R1M and Ducati Panigale around Mugello. And it was kind of a cold day. So it was maybe 55, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It was overcast. Threatened rain all day. We got lucky. It didn't actually rain, just spitting down a little bit. But that's a cold temperature for a tire. The morning it was sunny. So the SE3 rubber, which I'm familiar with from the Pirelli Slicks, is a broad temperature rubber. And it worked great on the street, and it has a ton of grip and a ton of confidence. And if I overcooked it into one of those 20-mile-an-hour switchbacks up there in the Tuscan hills, I could just deck the thing, put my knee on the ground, and plenty of grip.
And that's just on the edges, right?
That's just on the edges.
The outside edges.
But it's almost 25% of the sides, and then 50% in the middle is that harder rubber. And the harder rubber is just keep the profile of the tire longer on the street. So if you've got the tires mounted on a street bike and you have to ride on the highway to get to the curvy roads, that harder tire in the middle is supposed to preserve that profile. I know my street bike starts handling terribly once that profile wears down. So it's supposed to hold on to that longer, and then it's got that carbon black SC3 rubber on the side. Thing is, if I'm being realistic about it, the reason that we need those 200 or 180 or 190 profile rear tires is the power of modern bikes. Once you dump the throttle, like, you need that big contact patch for that power. And on the street, you're just, let's be realistic. You're not really, like, you can't accelerate that hard. So all of that grip on the rear tire, it's absolutely fine for turning, and no matter how hard you get on the gas, you're really not going to spin up one of those 200s on the street. So what I guess what I'm saying is it might be a little overkill on the street, but it's great and it's super fun. But might be a hair overkill. On the track, that SC3 rubber was super grippy, and it was really fun riding around Mugello. We had dinner the night before, and one of the guys had talked about the kind of lap times he'd done around Mugello, so he had dared me to try to beat his time. So I was really hard each time to, like, better my time. So I was, like, really trying to push it. And with the Panigale and the R1, both of which are, big, powerful bikes, I was getting through my tire in, one session. So I was getting a tire that had one session on it, and then I was finishing it off.
And each session was about 15 minutes?
Yeah, so in that case, it's kind of like, well, if you're going to be, on that day, that meant I went through 3 tires. In one day at Mugello, just in the afternoon.
45 minutes.
Yeah, in 45 minutes, just in the afternoon. But I think the tires were overinflated. So obviously, I don't know more than Pirelli does, but I think that SC3 rubber, it was so cold at the track, and they had 36 PSI in the tire. So I think maybe that tire wasn't getting enough heat into it on that day, and maybe we were seeing excessive wear because of that. But I guess I end up kind of thinking, like, it'd really just be better to have 2 sets of rims.
And it's even better
or
if
3.
one of them is like carbon.
Right,
or like
yeah.
forged.
No. So what my use case came down to is get 2 sets of rims, have SE3 slicks on one set for the track, and then either run these Quattro Corsas, or maybe even more of a street tire on the other set of rims for riding on the street. So that's sort of where I ended up. But if you just want the purest, high performance, absolute grip tire you can get in a DOT form factor, I mean, it'd be hard to go wrong with these ones.
All right.